Hi, welcome to Full Flow with Chloe. Gonna go back to the spring weight today. Pull through a few from there. And I think we'll go with double oracle cards today. What was that one? We have the Queen of Cups out first. So some nice energy of intuition. She represents the sign of Cancer. And we do have Jupiter in Cancer at the moment, maximizing the emotional wisdom vibes. The moon again, we had the moon come up yesterday, and I was talking about the Libra full moon coming up on the 2nd of April. And interestingly, the Jupiter in Cancer will be interacting directly with that moon. So it will be amplifying even more that kind of things that maybe have been coming up that have been quite internalized, that you've been having realizations about, like a growing learning about yourself, about something deeply emotional, with it being this Queen of Cups vibe. Maybe upon this Libra full moon, Libra is a sign of communication because it is an air sign. It's very much the us sign, as opposed to me, I sign like Aries. So there may be some communication had with others about the things that, and some realizations, and, you know, voicing the things that have been coming up internally for you with others under this full moon, because the moon card is about revealing what is hidden as well. It's about realizations coming up from the subconscious, and it's about release as well. So things that have been very held within, which the Queen of Cups does quite a lot of. She's very receptive. Cancerians are very, like, they very much absorb the energy of others around them, other people's emotions, and hold them inside, and often it leads to like a big like outburst later, but an emotional one. But this Libra moon is going to be, if you watched yesterday's reading, it's all about harmony, balance, and balancing your inner and outer energy, your inner and outer experience. And so communicating and expressing and releasing, but in a more emotionally balanced way, is what I'm getting, than like having a bit of a overzealous kind of lack of control emotional outburst. Because Libra is it's about balance. It's about balancing energies and wanting to harmonize energies, and how you know, their internal world is affected by what's going on in the world around them and with the people around them. And we get the High Priestess, more deep intuition. Again, quite Cancerian energy. Also representing Cancer in the major arcana. So this lady represents Cancerian energy in the court cards. This lady represents Cancer, major arcana, as she represents the moon. So we've got really strong feminine energy, really strong internal moony energy. Lots of moon energy, because the High Priestess, she represents like spiritual pathway, but she's very receptive with it. She's very intuitive with it, as is the Queen of Cups. But she's, you know, like a higher higher power of it, and she does actually represent the cycle of the moon, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. And we have the Six of Wands, nice bit of firepower amongst all this kind of wateriness, because there's strong water energy, lots of already out. And this is the card of victory. It's someone who's been off on their courageous journey and succeeded. And it's celebratory, and it's full of confidence and pride and just a big win. So there's the energy of like a success over a quest, like you feel like you've been on a quest and you have succeeded in your quest mission. And with it being fire sign energy, I'm just having quite a lot of fire opposing that full moon in Libra. It's lots of yang opposing this yin. So it might be a very personal victory about personal growth, like your personal journey that you've been on. Cancer deals a lot with personal energy as well. And the Tower, the wake up, the shake up, the things coming down. And it is more Mars energy. I do also associate this card a little with Pluto. And today is the day that we have that sextile, the 27th sextile between Pluto in Aquarius and Saturn in Aries. Mars, instantly, which this card is associated with, is over in Pisces, and we have got a heavy start out of water. Interesting. But yeah, it's the what can no longer stand. It's the what needs to come down so that we can move forward. It's no more of the old ways. Pluto is very much about no more of the old ways. And Mars is this energy of the warrior that often, you know, it can have this like destroyer energy of like destroying what is standing in the way, which is why we have this quite like aggressive energy on it. But I feel like it's a personal deconstruction, with all the cards so far out being quite personal. So it might be like a complete like stripping of past self and ways that, you know, having dwelled around in this watery energy, this internal energy, and having all these realizations, then maybe communicating, beginning to formulate words and expression and release through this moon card with it. And that sort of Libra energy coming upon the full moon, this like need to express it in a balanced way. But I think it's to do with having victory, a personal victory, self-mastery, and this deconstruction of a past version of self that no longer fits, and knowing that you are on a new path, on a new timeline, and there's lots of like rebirthing energy at the moment going on with having come through that equinox, you know, the coming of spring. Aries, the initiate, we've got loads of planets and points moving into Aries and in Aries to mark new beginnings. And this Cancerian energy as well with Jupiter and Cancer of like birthing, because Cancer represents the mother. And then we have the Two of Wands. So double rainbow vibe on this card, which is always nice. Yeah, he's looking out. It's the Lord of Dominion, Mars in Aries. Asserted a sense of power with his one wand. He's had this inspiration and realization and success of his wand. And now he's looking where to peg his other wand. Where does he send the energy now? He's like multiplied it into two. It's also a bit of a portal, a gateway, walking under the double arches through the gap in the wands. And it's yeah, he's looking at where to go next. He's holding this egg in his hand of new beginnings that's got a globe on it. It's like where to send my victorious energy. This one is Leo, Jupiter in Leo, so expanding this courage and confidence and celebration. Where to peg my victory and newfound self and new inspired energy is what I'm getting. Where do I want to create more now that I've stripped down what doesn't need to be there, declared what and who I truly am in my energy, and what I have learned and what has been communicated from the depths of myself. Now where am I going to put it? Where am I going to move on to? How am I going to further expand? And I'm going to take, my cards have gone all swervy because I sat on them. I'm not going to take any more from there. I'm going to do one from the Ostara Oracle, because I feel like the equinox is like that we had not so long ago. When was it? March has been a bit crazy. Anyway, the equinox, that was like a birthing of newness, you know, the point of spring coming in. And we've got Easter coming up. And Easter is a lunar festival. It's pegged by when the next full moon is. And we've got lots of moon energy on this lineup of cards. It's always the next full moon after the equinox. So the Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox is when we celebrate Easter. And so I feel like there may be some, like this end of March energy we're in. It's like kind of like wrapping up and finalising a lot of things that have been coming up throughout all of these planetary retrogrades. Now everything's direct. We're like having a final confirmation, I suppose, a final tidy up and solidifying of what we've learned so that we can take it into the new cycle now that all the planets are direct. And I feel like by the time it's like Easter thereafter, things may be like actually moving, more realised. We're still in this kind of tidy up at the moment. This Libra full moon, I think, is going to bring some clarity, balance and harmony, and just allow us this point of balance and communication. And then after that full moon and after Easter, that's when I feel like we're going to have finally kind of cleared this energy to move forward. Composting. It is through remembrance of the past that you can create a more purposeful future. And I feel like that's what we've got here. This kind of moon energy of this very internal landscape of looking at the past when we were in retrograde and looking back over our lifetime and reflecting. And then this moon is going to be like this releasing, this clarity, this balancing of that and communicating it. And then here, this like very yang kind of Mars energy. So I've got lots of yin, lots of yang, and this point of balancing in between with the bringing the harmony of the Libra full moon. And it's like this bridging point between the past, the future, the old self, the future self, the past ways, the future ways. And we are sort of the bridge in between it so that we can create this more purposeful future. Libra's got quite a lot of clarity to it. I'm going to take one from the Goddess of Love Oracle. But yeah, again, we got yesterday a lot of this kind of balancing of internal and external energies. And that's very much what I'm getting today with all that yin versus yang. But it's like about embodying it. When I say we're standing as a bridge in the middle, it's about we are embodying those two energies. And being in balance with it. And when we're in balance, we're more steady. This one jumped up. Safety. What was I just saying? When we're in balance, we're more steady. And we've got safety. You are held. And we have got a lot of that beautiful kind of Cancerian, watery, nurturing energy as well. Libra is ruled by Venus as well. And by the full moon, we will also have Venus having moved, which she does on the 30th, over into Taurus, which is again ruled by Venus. So there's going to be this very strong, and with that Jupiter in Cancer, which is a sign of nurture also, there's going to be this big kind of self-love, self-nurture, and finding this balance and self-nurture to find a stability, not a tough, unmovable, like fixed, rah kind of one, but this very receptive, harmonious, it's okay, not for me, that's not who I am. This is what I want, this is what I need, this is who I am. And like, I hold myself to my own values. And that's the reading, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be recording my Libra full moon class later. So I'll be posting that out at the weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you to all new subscribers and continual viewers.